What is going on, Jay? Welcome back to the podcast, Weight Loss Secrets for Women 40 Plus. How you doing, my man?
I'm doing great. I got my workout in early this morning. Fired up.
That's nice. So you made a post today, actually. You were using your writing buddy to your assistant. You have assistant, your writing
Yeah.
assistant to help you
Well,
curate
he's
the
he's
copy or
good.
the blog post or whatever it was. And one of my favorite topics, man.
You're the master.
You said you told us about a comedian who diabetic in his 20s, passed away in his or no, was paralyzed due to like a brain clot in his 40s, never took care of himself. And a lot of people, for whatever reason, will wait until some kind of massive health event to try to start getting healthier.
Yeah. So I gotta jump in here. I was working out this morning, listening to a podcast, and I did the post. So now like that topic's in the forefront of my brain. So I'm like hearing things that I normally wouldn't hear. And the guy said, this guy was a doctor, and he said the first sign of a heart attack is death. That's the most common sign of a heart attack.
That's
I
good.
was like, holy sh. That one like lit me up. I'm like, chest pain and stuff. That stuff is not the most common. Death is the most common symptom.
Yeah.
That's nuts. So that kind of ties into this, like waiting and waiting and waiting
Yeah.
until
Yeah,
what?
totally.
Death?
So, like, you may never get that chance to right the ship because of some kind of medical event. Like it may be too late, right? Like Patrice, you were talking about earlier, the comedian. So, like, I saw a quote from someone recently. It was like, the best time to start something is yesterday. The second best time is right now.
Yeah.
And my favorite topic is like, if you're finding reasons right now to put off taking care of your health, you're creating that habit.
Absolutely.
So you're going to continue finding reasons for the rest of your life unless you break that habit. You'll be putting off things forever because that's your identity. You're a procrastinator, and that becomes who you are.
And not
So
just your health, it's in everything. You're
it's in
training your brain
everything.
to, yeah.
Want to start saving more money? I'll do it after this or after that, or you
After I
never,
after I put in the pool, I'll start saving some money. Or
right.
after,
You
yeah,
never actually do it.
after college.
So I get it. It's summer right now, and people are staying up later. They're working less hard, having more cocktails. They're waking up groggier in the mornings. And I'm not saying you should not have fun this summer, but you should be finding a way to move forward. Like that needs to be your new identity. You need to create that habit. Like, so you have basically two options here. Option one is creating a habit where you put things off. Option two is creating a habit where you find a way to move forward. One will kill you, the other will save you.
Yeah. So I want to relate this to like people on a call. So I've had both situations in the last couple of days. Both people were like hesitant about moving forward, and one jumped in and one didn't do it. And she said, I always think about things before I do them. And I said, and like, how is that, not in a mean way, but like, how has that been working for you? And she's like, well, it hasn't all, completely. And I said, when your husband asked you to marry you, did you tell him you need to think about it? And she's like, well, no. And I said, so you don't always have to think about it. You're just telling your brain you have to think about it. And long story short, I've known this woman for a long time, and she continues to put it off. continues to take shortcuts, she continues to try all these cookie cutter plans, and she's still stuck. So like the people that jump in are always the ones that get the best results because they've already made that decision that they're ready to run through a wall for their health. And my
So
job's not to convince you that you have to do that. You need to be ready to do that.
the most famous book in the entrepreneur industry is Think and Grow Rich
Oh,
by
yeah.
Napoleon Hill. Okay, so he wrote this book. I think it was published like in the 1930s, but
Yeah.
for 15 years, he studied 500 millionaires. So to be a millionaire in the 1920s,
Yeah.
that's like
a
Jeff
billionaire now.
Bezos today.
Yeah, exactly.
It's high level success. And what he found is, to a T, every single one of these 500 millionaires made decisions immediately. They did
Yeah.
not think about it.
No. And if you like, how are you going to know if something works if you don't do it? That's how I am. Like I try, you and I mean, we freaking spend money on shit. We try efforts and shit. We waste, I don't want to say waste, but we take time to try. If it doesn't work, we now know it doesn't work. Like
Uh,
that's the lesson. So can
I
we tweak it? Can we change it? Can we just throw it in the trash and do something totally different? But you don't know unless you do it.
Yeah, I
So for
told
me,
this
it's like,
story in the Facebook group once. I had a gym. I hired a coach. That coach was $600 every week.
yeah,
Actually, it was
we're both in,
$599.
we're both in the same
I
program.
think it was $599 per week.
God, did that
And
hurt
and he charged you every week. That's how
every
it came
week.
out.
Oh yeah.
And I worked my ass off because it was $600 a week, right?
Oh yeah. You
I
paid
didn't lose it.
attention to every detail.
I didn't lose money on it, and it actually I got what I needed from it, which was I discovered while I had this coach that I don't want to be a gym owner, which
Yeah.
made that investment one of the greatest investments ever because that kickstarted my journey to sell my gym and do all of these things. As now I live in South Carolina, which my gym was in Michigan, and I work for this company. I work from home. Like I have more ability to like, I could go here, go there, like, and that's what I desired. And what I realized I desired more than anything was having more like freedom. So
Well, let me
like,
add, that program was for a year.
yeah, I spent a lot
So-
of money.
So what's that, 30 grand? What's the math on that? It's a lot.
600 times 52 is
You're
close
the
to
math
30
guy.
grand. Yeah.
Yeah.
And
Yeah,
I was in it
I'm
more than
pretty sure there's, yeah, and I'm pretty sure there's a down payment as well.
I was in it longer than a year eventually. Like I was in it
Yeah.
a long time. Like
I was in it
I
almost 2 years.
worked my ass off. I worked so hard. I grew. I became a harder worker. Like I developed all these skills and like I was a better version of me when I finished it. And I had greater clarity about what I wanted in life
Right.
because of that experience.
Yeah.
Like I
mean,
didn't
it's
actually get what I didn't get what I was seeking when I went into it though. I got
Right.
something I didn't know I was going to get out of it.
Well, I think that kind of relates with our program too. People come for weight loss, but they leave just totally different human beings because of the mindset coaching and stuff. And nobody comes for like, oh, can you coach me in mindset?
Right.
But they leave and they're like, what was the number one thing that helped you? The mindset. You know, it's everybody's number one thing, but nobody comes to the program for that.
100%.
funny.
Every woman I interview will say mindset
Yep.
is the key to their results, but they
The
don't
two
come in
biggest-
seeking it. They just want to weigh less on the scale, right?
Yeah, the two biggest things when you interview people are always, it wasn't as hard as I thought it was going to be. And the mindset was the key to my success.
You know what the third one is? I eat more food than I ever thought I could.
Yeah.
Those are the three
Yep.
biggest things I hear on every single interview.
That's awesome.
That is awesome. Eating more, easier than you thought, and your mindset's completely transformed.
Because it doesn't have to be hard. I don't want to get off the subject, but like weight loss doesn't have to be hard. You
No,
know,
this
we-
is
our
a
industry-
podcast, so we can actually get off subjects. That's the
Oh,
beauty
we
of a
can?
podcast.
Oh, perfect. So
We
this
can
is
do
right up my
whatever the
alley.
fuck we want to do.
This is right up my alley. Because I see something shiny and gone.
Yeah, it doesn't. It actually isn't hard. I mean, okay, I don't want to say it's easy, but it's simple.
Simple,
Like,
yeah. I think simple. You have to be disciplined. You have to put in the work, but like, it's not as hard as our industry makes it sound.
no, and like, so like, if we had to, if I had to pick one thing that separated the clients in our program who are crushing it and those who aren't crushing it, is the ones who are crushing it, they connect with their coach. They ask questions, they reach out when they're struggling, they watch the mindset trainings, like they're fully engaged in the process. And the ones who don't crush it aren't engaged in the process. They make
Every time.
excuses for why they can't do things. They don't do their check-ins, they don't reach out to their coach, and they isolate themselves for whatever reason. Probably
Yeah, so I had,
because they're not watching mindset trainings. I mean, that it probably it ties into that.
since we can just freely go off because it's a podcast. Spoke to I had a follow-up call with a woman yesterday who was, she's doing fairly well, but she was struggling a little bit. And she said she couldn't eat enough food. Her calories were like 900. She couldn't get to 1300. So we went through a whole food plan and I put it all together and I said, she picked it up and I just adjusted portions and I asked every time, can you eat 4 ounces of chicken? Can you eat this? Yes, yes, yes. We get to the end and I say, perfect. That's what I want you to do for the next 4 weeks. And she goes, I can't do that. I said, what do you mean you can't? We just spent a half hour. We just built out everything together and we just agreed that this is something you can do. Well, not every day. I said, what do you mean? Why not every day? Well, I can't eat chicken every day. Well, then substitute it for turkey or substitute it for fish. You're like, you don't have to have that. I'm just saying the structure that we put together is what you need to do to hit those 1300 calories. We had like MCT oil. She eats some more nuts, just little things to get in more calories.
Mm-hmm.
And she's just like, I can't do it. And I said, can't help you. Like, if I can give you the plan, but I can't eat the food for you. And she's just like, yeah, there's no way I can do this for 4 weeks straight. And I said, doesn't have to be perfect. Like, let's shoot for 3 days of getting 1300 calories. She hasn't hit 1300 calories in 5 months. So I said, if you can do 3 days, that's a win. If you can do one day, that's a win. So she's like, maybe I can do 3 days. What do you mean, maybe? Like, you can do 3 days. You just have to focus on it, put some effort into it, and actually follow through with the plan. But she kept telling herself she couldn't do it. She couldn't do it. She couldn't do it. She's training her brain to not be able to do it.
Right. And you know what?
It
She's
was,
never watched a mindset training. I've never seen her on one.
no, she hasn't. No.
Not
And
one.
she won't, also refuses to fill out a check-in sheet. So- because she's a positive person. That was her answer. So, like, how can your coach help you if you're not even giving them information? So, like, some people just can't be helped, and that's really sad and unfortunate. But like, it's simple to do. You just have to follow the process.
It really is. Like every single successful woman I talk to in the VIP program talks about how easy it is. They're shocked, but all they do is they check in with their
Check in,
coach
and
and they
when
watch
they're
mindset
driving
trainings.
to work, yeah, they listen to mindset. They go for walks. They listen to mindset, and they're training all the new clients on mindset. It's awesome. Like, someone will be like, "Oh, I don't think I can do this," and they'll be like, "What do you mean?" And then they all chime in. It's awesome. So like, our clients are coaching other clients because they've been with the program so long. It's freaking awesome.
Can I just say, I'm glad you're wearing a shirt today.
Oh, thanks. That was a train. That was just me and you, though. I wouldn't do that for like
We get on a
a
meeting.
professional podcast.
We get on a meeting. This guy's shirtless. I'm like, are you
Yeah,
shirtless?
hold on. It was from the neck up. You could see a little shoulders. Like, I'm a guy. It's not like I'm a female with my breasts hanging out. Like, I'm a guy. I can wear no shirt. Guys
I'm
do
pretty
that.
sure your nipples were hard though. I'll just be honest.
No, they weren't. They weren't. No, they were nice. They're nice.
We'll have to give background on that sometime. Why
You
you were
weirdo.
shirtless in your house working.
I'll give it to you right now. My house was 95 degrees. That's a simple answer. I'm dying right now, by the way. I want to take my shirt off, but I can't.
And why is it
Well,
95
I can't.
degrees? Just peel back the curtain a little bit, man. Why is it 95 degrees?
What do you mean? Why?
Well, so I'm in
It's
South Carolina.
Mother Nature.
It's mid 90s every day, but inside of our home is 72.
Oh, gotcha. I know where you're going. I'm getting what you're laying down. Yeah, I don't have air conditioning in my house because
Well,
my
why
wife
don't
doesn't
you?
like it.
Why don't
She
you?
doesn't like it. She doesn't like. I'm just gonna throw under the bus right now. She doesn't like. She likes fresh air, and she doesn't like things in the window. So I solved the first one. I said, "Hey, we'll get central air, and then we don't have to have things in the window." Yeah, but I like fresh air. So I haven't been able to to overcome that objection. If you think of anything, let me know. But yeah, she likes fresh air. She hates the feel of, I don't know, cold air or like not circulated. I don't know what she doesn't like, but like I am dying at night. I sleep. I used to never, this is a little too much information, but I sleep in my underwear now.
Podcast, man. You can say whatever you want to say.
I sleep in my underwear. And I'm so freaking hot. I got no blankets on and I'm just dying. I have a fan blowing warm air on me all night. And she's like, the fan's on. I'm like, yeah, it's making me sweat faster because it's just blowing warm air.
We got to
So,
get around
yeah.
sometime. I need to.
My kids have air conditioners in their room. I go in their room and I just talk. And they're like, what are you doing, Dad? I'm like, it's so cool in here. I just want to hang out. They're like, get out. We have an air conditioner for our house, but I mean, for our room. But usually I can get it out by like July. It's almost the end of July and I still haven't been able to break that thing out yet.
Hey, man.
My basement is like 10 degrees cooler. We have basements in New England. And but it's still freaking hot as hell. Plus our sauna's down here. And when that thing's on, the heat leaks out of it and it's just the whole house.
I bet,
So
man.
yeah, it's brutal.
So,
But
you
anyway,
know,
what were we talking
listen,
about?
so, but like, so in spite of that, like, you know, that's like a kind of like a self-inflicted, you know, that's out of your control essentially. Like Jen has won that discussion
She's
and
winning.
you
She
can't
hasn't won.
overcome it, man. Well,
Not,
she's currently winning. I mean, it's a
yeah.
landslide. Like,
It's not about winning. It's about compromise. And I even compromised. I said, well, keep it at like 76. I don't care how cold it is. I just want the humidity out. That's all I care about. I don't care how cold it is. Get the freaking humidity out of my room so I can sleep. And she's like, well, it's not the temperature. It's the fresh air. I'm like, oh my God. I said, well, put it on at night and then open all the windows in the morning and fresh air will be coming in.
I can't believe she's not too hot.
Oh, she has night sweats all the time, but that's been going on for 10 years. It's not because she's like, she could have the room 60 degrees and she'll still have night sweats. So that like, I bring that up and she's like, you know, that doesn't solve it. I'm like, but it can't hurt.
Hey, man, but you got to keep on trying. All right,
Yeah.
let's circle back. So let's summarize the episode.
Oh yeah,
Make
this is gonna be
decisions quickly.
hard.
Like in
Do
the book Think and Grow Rich, Napoleon Hill, it's the book is written, you know, almost 100 years ago. So it's an
Still,
interesting read. Like the lingo they use and like it's a really almost like you're going back in time to some different period of time that's different than our time. I listened to it and they made decisions quickly and they would not go back on their decision quickly. So like they would change their mind slowly. So once they decided on something, you couldn't change their mind. It was
because
an
you're all
uphill
in.
battle because they were all in. Now, with that in mind, going all in on weight loss doesn't mean you have to be perfect on your
Yeah,
weight
of
loss
course.
journey.
Great point. Yeah.
It just means you have to not stop moving forward. Like
I think
it's
that's why people say it's easier than they thought, because when they start focusing on just getting a little bit better every day, it makes the process so much easier than.
there is no perfect journey. Like we were talking yesterday on the meeting, like there was a period of time where I had like I had a hot dog for 5 straight days and a 3.9% beer. Now, just quick background is I used to do a beer pretty much every night, sometimes two. And then like probably 5 months ago, I just cut that out completely and went and reduced it and I stopped eating out, ended up losing like 25, 30 pounds. Like anyway, and then like so for a 5-day period, I had a hot dog every day and I had a 3.9% beer every day. And I'm like, I started getting more bloated, more gassy. My weight was the same. I wasn't overeating because I know how to like, you know, balance that stuff, but I just wasn't feeling as good. Like being gassy, not fun. Don't want to be gassy, married. It's not cool, man. So anyway, I'm like, I got to get back on my smoothies, get back on cooking more meals and not, you know, eating
Hey,
microwave hot dogs.
you go from smoothies to beer. Yeah, you're gonna feel different.
Yeah.
Same thing. You
So
go from beer to smoothies, you're gonna feel different in a better way.
but even when I was doing a daily hot dog, I was still getting my steps in and getting my workouts in, and I was still moving forward. I didn't like say, all right, here's a hot dog. I'm done. I'm going to be a
Right.
couch potato, stay up all night and drink 10 beers a day or 10 White Claws, right? Like I didn't go to that point. I was still moving forward. I just wasn't moving forward like I was the previous few months. So you have two options. There is no one just stays put and maintains. You either move forward or you move backward. All right. Two options. And along the line of thinking is either you're someone who finds a reason to put things off, or you find a way to move forward. Those things align, right? So if you're a procrastinator, you are moving backwards, which is going to, every day you move backwards, it's going to become even harder to reach your goal. So think about that. If you think it's hard right now, put it off for 2 more months.
People don't understand that.
It's even harder.
That's a huge point. Yeah,
So much
people-
harder. Now, if you find a way to move forward in 2 months, you've made progress, whether it's 5% or 10%, whatever it is, and it gets easier. Like the more you move forward, the easier it gets. The more you put off moving forward, the harder it gets. Those are your only
100%.
two. It's very black and white. You're not maintaining and you're not standing still. You're either going forward or you're going backward.
Cool. It's a wrap.
Listen, so I think this is on YouTube now too. So if it's not, I apologize, but we discussed
some
doing
pressure.
a YouTube
Put some
channel.
pressure.
What is the name of the podcast if it's available? Weight Loss Secrets Women 40 Plus, or do we have a Life Warrior Coaching YouTube? You know what I'll do is I will
We have a Life Warrior coaching one.
I'll put
We
the
have zero.
link.
We have 0 on it.
I'll put the link to the YouTube channel in the show notes,
There you
as
go.
well as the Facebook group. So if you like YouTube and want to see our faces, you can. If you want to join the group, I would definitely recommend that because like there's so much value in there. We're doing a workshop right now on how to optimize your metabolism. We'll do a challenge in there at some point in the fall, probably. There's weekly trainings, there's resources and guides and tools and tricks and whatever
Everything you need to be successful. Yeah. everything's in
literally
there.
everything you need to lose weight sustainably and keep it off is in there. So anyway, subscribe, rate, review. Thank you, Jay. And
Thank you.
we'll talk to you next time. Adios.
See ya.